Have you ever felt overwhelmed by life's unpredictability? Some of us live in fear of the future, while others find peace amidst the chaos. What if there was a tool that could help us discover the positive side of each event and guide us toward lasting peace? Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. I'm a rheumatologist who practices integrative medicine in Hawaii. Today, I will show you a powerful tool I learned from Tony Robbins that can help you achieve a deeper sense of peace. Life is full of unpredictable challenges. That's the norm, according to the second law of thermodynamics in physics. The natural tendency of the universe is toward disorder or randomness, not order. For example, let's say you clean your house meticulously and put everything away one day. With use, over time, things will become more disordered and chaotic if you don't clean again. Also, there are variables that you cannot control, like weather-related damages or baseball practice at your neighbor's house. According to the law of physics, change is a natural process of life. That's why our lives are constantly challenged by new problems, no matter who you are. Uncertainties coming from changes can be frightening. Some people live in constant fear of what will happen in the future, whereas others live in gratitude for what exciting adventures each day may bring. Is there any secret to achieving happiness and peace in this never-ending journey of solving problems? That's the main topic of this talk. I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was an old farmer who had been farming for many, many years. One day, his horse ran away. Upon hearing the news, his neighbors came to visit. "So it's bad luck," they said sympathetically. The farmer replied, "Good thing, bad thing, who knows?" The next morning, the horse returned, bringing 3 other wild horses. "How wonderful!" the neighbors exclaimed. "Good thing, bad thing, who knows?" replied the farmer. The following day, his son tried to ride one of the untamed horses, fell from the horse, and broke his leg. The neighbors again came to offer their sympathy for the misfortune. "Good thing, bad thing, who knows?" answered the farmer. The next day, military officials came to the village to draft young men into the army. Suddenly, war broke out. Seeing that the son's leg was broken, they passed him by. The neighbors congratulated the farmer on how well things had turned out. "Good thing, bad thing, who knows?" the farmer said. The moral of the story is that happiness should not depend on specific outcomes. It is impossible to determine whether an outcome is truly good or bad, as the full consequences of any event unfold over time. It can lead to unexpected outcomes. Nobody knows the future. That's the beauty of life. If we knew everything about the future, it would be terribly boring. It would be like solving math problems that you know the answer of over and over. In traditional Chinese medicine, there is this concept of yin and yang. The core philosophy teaches that there is a balance between the two. There are many associated meanings for yin and yang, but in simple terms, here, yin can represent darkness and yang represent light. When you look at the symbol, there's a small white dot in the middle of blackness. This symbolizes the birth of light in the darkest moment. Yin is the mother of yang, and yang in return feeds yin. Neither yin or yang is bad, they exist in balance. Tony Robbins suggests that there are 2 sides to the story for each life event, positive and negative. He teaches that for each challenge in life, it creates some positive effect if we look deeply. With Tony's teaching, I reflected on my life. I didn't have the perfect childhood myself. While I was growing up, my mom and dad worked long hours. I grew up craving my mom's love. I used to think that my childhood was lonely, sad, and unfortunate. But on the other side, because I felt so insecure about myself, I used the insecurity as a fuel for my education and became a doctor. I enjoy what I do for a living now. In every Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreat, there's a part where some participants shared experiences of their healing journey. Some of them had metastatic cancer, healed during the journey. Their testimonials are always so inspirational. It's not just one person, but I often hear this theme over and over. One person said, "My cancer was my biggest gift. Without my cancer, I wouldn't have pushed myself this hard." Because of their illness, they got into meditation through which they found happiness and healing. Light arose in them in the darkest moment of life. Dr. Zhou teaches that healing happens before the cure. Healing in terms of emotional, spiritual trauma, forgiveness, letting go happens before the cure of physical illness. Finding gratitude, love for life happens before the cure. This is in alignment with traditional Chinese medicine's teaching that emotional and spiritual trauma stuck in our body eventually contribute to diseases. When you release a trauma, it leads to healing. Here I want to go a little deeper into teaching of Tony Robbins. Problems and challenges are inevitable and can be scary. Many of us live in fear, thinking that their disease is some form of punishment. That's what I thought when I had my chronic pain for 15 years. Where focus goes, energy goes, Tony says. When you are focused on fear, it doesn't do any good for your medical illness. In fear, which is a state of chronic stress, the body makes stress hormone cortisol and inflammatory signaling molecule IL-6 and fuels the disease process. Both fear and faith are rooted in the future. They're both based on imagination about the future. Fear is imagination undirected. When people are fearful, they imagine the worst possible scenario for the future. This kind of imagination is often self-sabotaging as our brain rewatches the scenario of failure, loss, disaster over and over, leading to more anxiety. Decisions made in fear are often bad ones. Poor decisions in life can lead to bigger challenges. Faith, on the other hand, is imagination directed and controlled. It involves consciously choosing to believe in positive outcomes that benefit oneself, family, and community. It is believing that you're in the loving, kind hands of the Creator. It is a belief that you are guided by those loving hands. Having faith reinforces courage and optimism, helping us with constructive behaviors and quality decision-making. Tony says, rather than being a prisoner of fear, I'd rather be guided by faith and love. How do we focus on the positive side, even in a challenging situation? How do we direct our energy to the positive side in each life challenge? Is it possible? We find what we look for. Think of the time when you were purchasing your first car. For me, it was during my junior year in college. I was considering purchasing a two-door Honda Accord. Back then, it was a cool thing. Since I had that in mind, I saw so many of the same car on the road all of a sudden. The reticular activation system is a filter in our brain. It is estimated that our brain often gets bombarded with 40 billion bits of information each second from all our senses. Our brain capacity can only handle 2,000 bits of information per second, so we have to trim down the information. The question that we ask serves as a filter. What we look for, our brain will find it like a radar on a missile. In his event, Date with Destiny, Tony teaches a concept of primary question, the question that we ask over and over in our subconscious mind. For example, growing up, this was my primary question that I kept asking my mind. Why don't people love me? I was looking for reasons why I wasn't loved. Then I found those reasons by focusing more and more on my imperfections. Another question that I asked was, why am I getting punished all the time? Again, my brain achieved the job, finding more imperfections. These are some of the worst primary questions that you could think of, right? These primary questions formed during my childhood trauma remained in my brain operation system over many years and negatively affected my adult life. After learning from Tony, this is my new primary question. How can I even more enjoy and appreciate God's love and perfection right now? The key is even more. This question assumes that I'm already experiencing God's love and perfection right now, and we are looking for more. I'm not religious. If you're not comfortable with the term God, feel free to replace it with Creator or another term that suits your belief for your practice. Life challenges can be perceived as form of punishment, but in this sense, challenges are learning opportunity from the Creator. It's a gift. In fact, problems are signs of life. Having problems means that you are alive. No one alive is free of problems. When I run into challenges every day, I asked this primary question in my head over and over to find the hidden message from the creator. What does the creator want me to learn in this situation? Suffering doesn't go away until we learn the lesson for the challenge. Suffering from chronic medical conditions is tough. It can affect many aspects of life, including career, relationship, and finance. If challenge is inevitable, it may be helpful to believe that we are guided rather than punished. Shakespeare said, "A coward dies 1,000 deaths, but a hero dies but one." Living in chronic fear and stress causes harm to our body. This is a lifelong process of learning. In this journey, we learn how to deal with fear in a more productive way. So far, I have attended 7 of Tony's seminars and 3 of Dr. Joe's in-person retreats. I'm going to keep going. I feel that knowledge from great teachers are connected. They worked synergistically for me. I invite you to continue to learn. Finding the creator's love and perfection gets easier with practice. I invite you to try primary question, which involves reciting the question over and over, either out loud or in your mind. You're welcome to use Tony's primary question, how can I even more enjoy and appreciate God's love and perfection as is, or modify it to design your own to make it more suitable for you. I recommend keeping the how can I even more part, as even more is a key concept of this exercise. You already have love in you. We're just looking for more of it. Being positive is a learnable skill, and it has direct health benefits. As you know, mind and body are connected. Your breathing and posture all affect your mind. Make sure you establish slow, deep breathing first. Sit upright and stand up when you do this exercise rather than slouching over. Connecting with nature via earthing is also a great option when you do this exercise. If you want to learn more about childhood trauma affecting our subconscious mind, check out this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.